Listen, if you're a business owner and you're trying to figure out how to get your first few clients, I am going to show you in this video how I went from 0 to 40 clients in about 6 months. It wasn't easy, it was simple, but it wasn't easy, but it took me a lot of trial and error, and I hope that you get there faster. Now, I don't have all the answers on how to go, much further from that, but I can tell you that within those 40 clients, one of them eventually became the people that invited me to be part owner of a larger production company. Therefore, I can tell you how I grew and realistically how I went from 0 clients to being a partner in a bigger production company with this strategy. This works, it's not simple, but it's easy, and I'm gonna give you the no bullshit way, and I hope this helps you, because if it does, then you're gonna follow me or subscribe and do all the things, and if you do, then this channel grows and I keep doing this, and I don't wanna bullshit anybody, and yes, so this is gonna be the deal. Ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, now let's get to this. I'm recording here on the iPad as well, and this is what I'm gonna be using for most of the things that I'm trying to explain to you. Yes, this is in Portuguese, but it's really simple, and I'm gonna show you how this kind of funnel works. Realistically, there's only a few ways that you can get clients, okay? One of them is creating content, which is content, because if you're watching this, eventually, if you like me and you like the way I think and the way that I record my videos, then maybe you'll become a client of mine. Pretty simple. SDR, which is Sales Development Representative, which is, think of this as like outreach. So you realistically go and reach out to people. It's like, hey, I have this offer for you. Are you interested? And it can do a bunch of different ways to try to grab their attention. The hook, the offer itself, you can do things for free. You can offer free things and so on, right? Like the approach can change a lot. Now, then you can run ads, anuncios, ads. And the final thing is just your network, meaning referrals or people that you know and so on. But think of ads as basically having the SDR, but on steroids, because here you're just reaching out to one person at a time, unless you do some automation. And here you're reaching out to multiple people, right? Making an offer, but then through content. So it's kind of a combination of all. But there's not that many ways to get new clients. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you want to learn more, go listen to Alex Ramosi. There's a lot that I learned from him. And this is just kind of like the way that it worked for me, but it's based off his principles. So, when you're done watching this, go watch him as well, because I think it will help you and benefit you. Now, the way that this funnel works is that eventually I was offering them something for free. Now, it could be, I'll do an assessment, or I'll give you 30 content ideas, or, people in Brazil, they like to use WhatsApp a lot. So one of the things that I used to highlight during, this time was that, look, by the way, do you know how many people are coming from Instagram into your WhatsApp? And they're like, well, no. And then one of my answers was like, look, there's a very simple way to do it. And you add, realistically in WhatsApp, you can just basically add a UTM, which is a tracker for a link, but don't worry about this for now. But then you also have a way to use WhatsApp to send a message that says like, hey, I came from Instagram and I want your services, right? And then that way the business owner knows that people are coming from Instagram. And why is that useful? Because if the business owner knows, or the people that you're providing your services to, if they know where their clients are coming from, they can invest more in that. If I know that all my clients are coming from YouTube, for example, which they're not, but if they are, or if they were to be, I would invest more on YouTube, right? It makes sense. So it makes sense for you to track things. So that's why I would offer this as a simple link. And I was like, hey, I'll just optimize your link, which is actually really freaking simple. But it showed them that I'm thinking about things differently, because most marketing companies over here are not talking about tracking data. They're not talking about the sales process, which this is what this means, sales process over here. So, when I'm talking to a business owner and I can tell about the whole funnel strategy, they already see me as different from most. Okay, so that's why I was trying to give something valuable for free. And this is not a scam, like I'm legitimately trying to help here. Okay, now I give that for free. If they get interested, then we can talk about, qualification forms and so on. Meaning, sometimes these people don't have enough money to pay you, or they're not ready to work with you. And by the way, this is in the beginning, you're gonna try to get everybody, but in a long enough time horizon, you're just gonna have to qualify people, because you can't serve everybody. And if you serve everybody, you serve no one. Okay, because your time is limited, and eventually you're gonna have to qualify the people that you work with. Bam. Okay, simple. So free thing, and then you go into, hey, I'm gonna qualify you. And if this person is qualified, and this can be a call, this can be a form, this can be whatever the heck. And if the person is qualified, let's skip this for now. You can have a call, like a sales call. And by the way, the term sales call is probably wrong. What I want you to think about is sales process. If they're qualified, you start the sales process with them. And when I say process, I really mean the sense of it might be 3, 4, 5 calls. And if you're early in the entrepreneurial days, you're trying to get clients fast and you think you're going to close them in one call, and I certainly thought I would, and you just don't, because a stranger is not going to give you money out of the blue most times, unless you have some version of, a brand and so on. But most of us don't. Therefore, you need to show them you know what you're doing, and sometimes that takes multiple calls. That takes your portfolio. That takes multiple things. So please understand that on the first call that you're having with them, you're not trying to immediately sell them. First, you need to understand if you can help them, if they're looking for it, if they're a fit for you as well, and so on. Because they might have everything that you want, but they weren't qualified. Right? They weren't qualified for it. Or they have the money, but they work in a way that just doesn't work for you. Like, for example, I had a client that was like, oh, I want you to come here and shoot for me every day. And I was like, well, that's going to cost you about X. And they're like, well, I don't have that much money. I was like, well, yes, because we usually can optimize things and we do it once a month, for example. But the person was so set that I needed to be there every day that it just simply did not make sense for me to educate him in that matter. Okay? But anyway, so sales process. Okay, now you have the basics, which are, there's only so many ways you can get people to come to you, and you go reach out to people, and then you have to understand that eventually you're going to have a sales process. I think that this and this are the most important things that you have to understand for now if you're trying to close your first 5 clients or your first 40, whatever. Now, where did this all come from? And this is just a more explained version. And if you guys want this, please let me know, because I'm not going to make an hour-long video if no one is watching or no one cares enough. So if you want a full breakdown of how I went into content and SDR and network and ads and what messages I sent and so on, please let me know. I can make this video, but I'm not going to do it unless people ask for it. Okay, so let's talk about content, SDR, ads, and network. Let me explain something to you. The way that I work through this is the following. I make content on, YouTube, X, Threads, Snapchat, LinkedIn, wherever. It is my job as a business owner to make sure that I am marketing my product, that I let people know that I exist, because I am not famous, I'm not an influencer. I need to make sure that people understand I exist. And one of the ways that I can get people to understand that I exist is making content. And then some people will say like, oh, it's a waste of time. It's actually not, because it does 2 things. One, it can get you more leads, so people will realistically know you exist. They're going to try to come to you, and they're going to, try to work with you if you know what you're doing. But then there's the second part, which sometimes a lead will come to you and they're not sure yet. Okay? But then they see your content. They see that you're putting your face out there and you're just an entrepreneur just like they are, and they see that you're trying, they see that you do what you preach, especially this in my case, the marketing stuff, and I'm creating content and so on. That changes the odds of you closing that deal just because you put your face out there. It gives you authority, it makes you lead by example, and so on. So therefore, making content has 2 benefits. 1, getting more leads, and 2, a high conversion rate for the leads that do come to you. Cool? Cool. Now, the things that I do here, it says, did they follow you? If you made a piece of content and they followed you, okay, you're going to send a welcome message. Do not automate this message, especially if you're small or if you're a business owner. And this week, actually, I closed a new client because we ran an ad. They followed us, and they had multiple, connections with us in the sense of like they knew clients of ours and so on. They followed us. They saw an ad and all of that. Did not say anything. Did not say anything. I sent a message. In this message, you can, template this from now. Here's what you say. Hey, X, I saw you followed. Nice to meet you. I just wanted to say, welcome. For example, in this channel, I would say, hey, in this channel, you're going to find, business errors that I make myself, and I try to help people so they don't make the same mistakes. 2, travel content. And then 3, every once in a while, some philosophy stuff. Bam. I'm around if you need me, be welcome, happy you're around. You're not selling, you're not making a point, you're just saying, I'm around. You're starting the conversation because this person might eventually become an actual lead, but they might also engage with your content because now you're a freaking human being. It's social media for you to be social. Sorry, if you're posting content and you're ignoring everyone that comments your stuff or sends a message, you're missing the point. Sorry, you're missing the point. Okay? Now, person followed. You do this welcome message. Now, you can also theoretically, from your content, tell them comment comment hamburger, and I'll give you this valuable free thing. It could be a Notion template, ideas, it could be training, it could be, whatever. You could give them a free thing. Okay? That's another way for you to go back into your funnel of giving the free thing. Huh, interesting. That's how you can convert it into a client. Okay, next. Let's go from the SDR perspective, and that's kind of all I'm going to talk about. I'm going to finish this page, and I'm going to talk about the sales process a little bit. The SDR part, this is where I closed, by chance, one of the biggest chains, like coffee chains in Brazil. By chance, because I did not realize that that was the official account, but I sent a message out of the blue. The message basically said some version of like, hey, I'm a filmmaker, and I just spent a few years in New York, and I would like to make you a video. Here's what I'm proposing. I'm proposing, say 15 photos. I can pull back and do a screenshot here, but it was some version of, I can do, 60 professional photos for you. I can do an institutional video, and I can do like a funny ad. And in return, I'm going to ask for a price that we set on. Cool? That worked. That worked. I sent like 50 messages, and 5 people answered, and then that one became a deal. It works. This SDR stuff, it could be a DM on Instagram, it could be an email, it could be calling their phone. Okay? It works. I said it's simple, it's not easy, because for that client specifically, I used perplexity.ai to find the client. So I basically typed in, find me coffee shops in this region in this country, for example. And then I used Google Sheets to organize it all, and then started DMing everybody. And some of them I was offering a service, which is what I did, and I was testing 2 or 3 messages. So ABC test over here, if you can. Send different messages, different hooks. One of them was like, hey, do you want to be able to record a video that looks like a TV ad? Because realistically, some of my videos kind of look like a TV ad, which is kind of fun. So, it was a hook. And then I explained, I actually do, videos for social media, blah, blah, blah. And then you explain. So, there's different hooks you can use here to see what works. Or if I'm doing them, sending a DM, then I'm giving free ideas. And you can say, hey, I saw your page, I work in this industry, and I have some ideas that might work for you. Are you available Thursday at 4:30 for me to give you these ideas to you? Sometimes they say yes. And when you go into those calls, please realistically give the free thing away. Like in those 20, 30 minutes, please give it away for free. Actually give valuable advice. And then tell them, hey, I do this for a living. I offer services on this. Are you interested? Okay, so that's another way of going to the valuable thing. And you guys are probably learning Portuguese here too right now, which is kind of really funny. No, but seriously, thanks for watching this. I'm hoping this is helping some of you, because I wish someone had broken this down for me early on, and it took me a few many weekends of trying to figure this out. And when it finally clicked, my life became a lot simpler in this sense, in the sales process. Like now I could see what was going on. Now, next step, let's talk about ads. One of the ads that I'm currently running, I wasn't running this ad at the time, but I'm currently running. It's me with one of those, we call it claquete. I don't know the name in English, but it's one of those things that like clicks, and it's like recording, filming, blah, 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 right? And I do this and I hold it. And it's like 3, 2, 1. Hey, are you from this town and you have a business and you're really good at what you do, but then your marketing sucks? Oh. Hey, if you're looking for someone that can actually help you to do marketing that actually works, let me know. Because if I put this ad in front of you, I can put your ad in front of your client. Some version of that. And I put like, I don't know, $200 on it. I don't know, 80 leads 3 weeks later. Right? Then comes the process of qualifying, but I mean the ad creative. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really simple. Talk to the people, run it locally, win in your town first, especially if you can win in your town, in your local service, go for that. And you can run, I think that the best way to think about running ads so far for me has been, what is something that feels organic, that feels like someone, like an influencer would be posting on their stories and people would watch for fun. Well, you know how people say like, oh, I don't understand why people pay attention to influencers because they suck. Do the following. Be a good business owner and ask yourself, what can I learn from the influencers that people are paying attention? Because if they learned how to grab attention, homie and gal, you should learn with them too. Like, it doesn't matter what niche they're from, there is something to be learned. There's something to be learned. And then you as the business owner, figure that out, use it in your favor, and decide what to do with it, okay? But what I also do is, there was a few videos that I had that the content did really well. And I wanted to grow some followers. So I ran some campaigns to show that content to more people. I think I ran for engagement, actually. I wanted people to comment. Because I don't want them to actually follow, because then the platform might have, they might have an incentive to give me fake followers. I don't know if that's accurate, but I just don't trust it. I want to see engagement. I want to see engagement. So like, I would take content that was really good and I would run them for engagement. Like, good content, that's what it says. So yeah, and then I would run ads on that too. And then in the ads, you can have, a form that qualifies them. You can also give them a free thing. So like, I could have run that ad that I just told you. I could have said, hey, if you fill out this form, I'm going to give you 50 content ideas. Just an example. And I put here screenshots and comments, because when I first ran an ad for photography, what I did was actually pretty fucking stupid, or, it's actually smart, but some people would engage with my ad and just like it, but not actually fill out the form. But I figured that they would possibly still be leads, because at least they liked the ad, so they were interested to some extent. And some of them would comment. So what I did is I took screenshots of all the people that liked. Then I threw them on ChatGPT and I was like, hey, can you please make a list of all of these people with the Instagram handles so I can click on them and I can reach out to them. So with that, I don't know, I had put like $20 on a campaign and I got 100 names. And that's actually how I got a couple clients too. Now, I'm saying that this works, not that it's simple, nor that it's the most optimized way. I'm just saying that this is realistically the amount of work that it took to get from 0 to 40 clients and testing all this stuff, right? So this did take weekends. This did take, late nights. This did take early mornings. Right? It does take work, but it does work. That was a weird sentence. You get it. Final thing is, please let your people know that you are offering the thing. Once I booked a wedding just because I told a competitor that I was like, hey, by the way, I'm looking for wedding gigs. If you have any that come your way, please let me know. And 2 weeks later, I was recording a wedding. Right? So, please let people know. Like, my first paying client, there was like a monthly fee. They were local and my family bought stuff there. Great. Like, get people in your network. Like, seriously, tell people. If you're scared of what people are going to think when you ask them, like, hey, I'm looking for this, do you have anybody interested, or anybody that's looking for this? If you're scared of that, think of the following. Tell me, what is it that you're doing that you should be ashamed of? You're trying to offer a service, a legal service that people might need? Go for it. Don't be scared. Just go for it. It's the art of hearing no. I used to have a boss that used to say, he used to say, Luis, sales is like dating in New York when you're single. Just be ready to hear a lot of no's. And I thought it was hilarious. And yes, you know, sales is kind of like that. You just hear a lot of no's. Obviously, you get better at selling, and there's, you know, there's techniques and so on, but you're gonna hear a lot of no's, and that's it. Just you know, get to the next no. Now, final thing I want to show you, which is the sales process. Okay, which are things that I have learned, and they're in Portuguese here. Don't worry, I'll explain them. That I try to live by. I am sure that someone is going to disagree with me. This is my journey from 0 to 40 clients, and this can help you. Okay, this is not the final truth, but I hope this helps you. Okay, the sales process, the problem here is that, okay, when it comes to selling, never only send your prices. And my error, try to sell on a single call. Okay, now number one, why not to just send prices? Because you're just going to be another one. If the person has no reason to, you know, if you don't have a brand, or if you don't post content, and if you're just another one and you just send clients, guess what? They're just, you know, shopping for the cheapest. If you're going to win that battle, I'm not going for it. Alex Ramosi has a good quote on this. It's like, there's no reward for being the second cheapest, or something like that. It's like, hey, you can only go, you know, so low. And then the other thing is that, oh, and people like to say is like, you know, but if I just send the prices, then I can be faster and so on. It's like, no, just don't. Just like get them on a call, understand what they need. Because by the way, you don't even know if they need, like if they realistically are a fit to work with you. So maybe you want to have a chat first, always, but you're going to get, you know, in touch with less people. Yes, I was okay with that. And so far it has been working. So I'm going to stick with it. And if you, but realistically, if you have a different perspective, drop it in a comment, because this is something that I currently discuss with my partners often, right? Because I'm against it. A couple of them are for it. Okay, now, next one. But again, this is how I got to 0 to 40 clients. I wasn't with them at the time. Okay, now let's talk about this. Why not sell on just one call? Because most times you don't know what the lead wants just yet. You have to get on the call with them to understand their needs. Sometimes, like, maybe you need, you know, a glass of water and I'm trying to sell you milk. Like, at least hop on the call and understand what they need. So the first call, go in thinking, okay, let me see if I can help them. Then the second call, you might say, okay, I have a strategy for you, prospect. How does this sound? Okay, sounds good. Okay, then you can choose, okay, now we're going to talk about price and negotiate. Or it's like, okay, if this sounds good, then I'm going to bring you know, a deal for you and we can talk about it. This has been working, especially for, you know, higher tickets, right? Again, this I'm talking about services, so it's not like 20 bucks. So the way that I try to see this process is, instead of trying to, you know, make those two errors, I try to see this as a process. So in the first one is a discovery call. Second one is an alignment call. Third is a proposal, like an offer, and then negotiations. So kind of be ready for negotiating as well. When you put your price, if they tell no right away, well, try to negotiate. See what's up. If you try to negotiate, right? Sometimes maybe you're going to be like, oh, I don't negotiate prices. But you could negotiate bonuses, right? So negotiate something. Discovery call. Here's what I do. I ask. I try to ask the most questions. I try to talk less. I try to talk not much at all, because you need to understand their objectives. You need to understand. You need to, you know, see if you're a fit for them and they're a fit for you. By the way, try to send a message, a confirmation message. Hey, all ready for our call today at 4:30 p.m. And I try to say, hey, I am ready for our call at 4:30, rather than, hey, are you ready for our call at 4:30? Just because I put the default mode in the person that, hey, we're going to have our call at 4:30, rather than, hey, are we going to have our call at 4:30? Right? And then, again, Alex Ramosi talks about this. I think it's, he actually talks about someone else that says this. It's the BAM fam, book a meeting from a meeting. And I've been using this and I totally agree with it. It's awesome, because as you're finishing the call, here's an example. Say they are qualified and want to do the alignment call. It's like, okay, I understood everything that you need and I'm going to put together a plan to present that to you. Are you available on Thursday at 2:30 p.m.? And you can even pause. Like, are you available at Thursday? Hang on, let me check. At 2:30 p.m. Because it's like you're checking your calendar. Maybe your Thursday is empty. But that gives you the understanding of like, okay, this person at least is trying to book and is organized and so on, even if it's empty. Okay. Okay. Next call. This is when you present your strategy. Like, hey, now the second call. This is when you present the strategy. For example, say the person needs to post on Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube, right? This is kind of when you present, hey, this is the strategy that I have for you. This is what I'm thinking. These are the packages that I'm thinking. And this perhaps you're not even showing price yet. Okay, it's just the idea. It's like, how does this sound? Because if your strategy sounds solid, if it sounds good, and they say sounds good, then the only thing left to talk about is price. Because if they agree that what you said of the strategy is correct and they need that, then well, they need that, right? Then the only next thing is, okay, let's make it happen. Okay, then this call, perhaps your strategy will be off, so feel free to redo it. And this, by the way, is for companies that don't have a service that is, a menu. It's not a, because if you have one single product, then, well, you don't really have a lot of things to offer. You just have that one. But if you do, then you're going to have to adapt and show them, what you're thinking. Again, send the message of the confirmation, and then bam, fam, book the next meeting. Final, third call, this is your price call. Sometimes I combine those two, sometimes I don't, but I try to offer them 3 packages. I feel like this at least gives them a chance to work with me on a lower budget if they don't have, but it also allows me to anchor my price higher so they understand that I have clients that pay better. And I have clients that do more with me, and I can deliver more, right? This doesn't make them feel like, oh, Luis costs 20 bucks. But it might say, like, hey, Luis actually has clients that pay them 20K. See what I mean? It puts me on a different category with the prospect. And then the next thing is that you also want to have the confirmation before and after the call. And again, this whole idea of giving them a chance to work with you. In the early days, I was getting all the way over here, and those clients were like, they were kind of ghosting me, but not really ghosting me, and it was really annoying. And then a friend of mine, Cameron, thanks Cam, he told me, he was like, look, dude, you gotta give him a chance to work with you. And I was offering them at the time, it was like one of them was a small mentorship on like how I record my videos. Something simple, something easy, but he didn't want to watch YouTube, he wanted to learn from me. And I was like, okay, these are the packages. In the sense of, say, I don't remember what they were. They're probably like, call it 500 bucks, okay? And it was just like another person, like a regular freaking human being, not a business. So 500 bucks sometimes is a lot for the person. I don't know, right? And this, Cameron says like, Luis, give him a chance to work with you. And I came back to the person, was like, hey, by the way, what if we do, instead of, the 10 calls that we have to cover all these topics, I can do just the first 3 calls and you'll pay them in 2 different months. Right? Like I made a small package. Because at that point, if they didn't close that, I should stop wasting my time with them. He was correct. I should have. But now I had confirmation that they were all bark and they were not going to pay. And that was important. Like I had to move on. Learning to move on sometimes is helpful. And final thing is, if they say like, hey, I like everything. I know you gave me like it's 5,000 bucks, but I can pay for only 4. And now you determine, can I give more? Can I, but know your margins, because by the way, if you have a cost for things and you don't understand what the costs are, like your daily costs, your taxes, and so on, and when you're giving a discount, you're essentially giving away profit. You're giving away your profit. So make sense. Know what you're doing here. So make sure to do the math of how much you can charge, how much things cost, and so on. And be ready for the back and forth. It's like, hey, I'm gonna charge you 5. It's like, oh, I'm gonna pay you 3. Well, and go on. There's all sorts of little tactics and mechanics on negotiation, so you can learn that too. So at the end of the day, I can talk a lot more things in tracking and leads and negotiation. And if you're interested in all this, please let me know. But at the end of the day, what I want you to understand is that going from 0 to 40 clients in 6 months and then eventually becoming a partner at a production firm, it did take a lot of work, but it didn't have to be that complicated. It was a lot of work. I could have put people in the right places to do it. But figuring out the sales process was important, and figuring out how to get leads was also important. And I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope this was enough information. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please drop them below. I'm recording this because it didn't click for me on top of all the videos and podcasts that I watched or books that I've read, because there's some things that you just need more visuals and you need more practice and you need to kind of see it. And this is what I'm trying and hoping that this will accomplish for you. If you like this, please subscribe and comment and send it to someone, because this is how this channel grows and this is how I know that this type of content resonates with you guys. If you want the full thing, I'll record it. Just let me know. And that's it. We'll talk soon. Bye.